It's this and then.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God.
Oh my god, we're live.
Jesus.
We're live.
Oh. And
Oh.
so as the sun rises at 8 p.m., we are here and we're ready to play.
Excuse me.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dylan. Welcome to Natural One Media. After a few weeks away for the holidays, we are back in it for the new year. Everybody is here. Everybody's ready to go. I'm very confident that they all remember exactly what happened last time, which is why I'm going to kick it over to Franny. And Franny, you're going to tell me what went down in our previous session. Where are we right now? What's going on?
I'm so glad you asked. Wait, we're not the performers. That's the other show. Sorry. Our group of adventurers here find ourselves in what I like to call a pile of shit. In just a whole like shitty situation.
Yeah.
We're fighting shadows and ourselves, more so than usual. With some of us being in the goddamn walls and the others being in a field. But then we switched because that's in the season these days. And our Christmas gift was impending death. As for like story and lore reasons as to why we're here, I only know that I need to live, and I think therefore I am.
Terrible,
You hit so much and yet nothing at the same time.
I am very good at not saying anything while saying a lot.
Adventuring party is currently deep down inside of a cavern, what they hope is a cavern. Hopefully not a cave. If it's a cave, that's bad news. Deep down inside of this cavern, where they are attempting to find a way back to a wizard's tower that they were in at one point, with the intention of seeking out the proprietor of the tower in the hopes that they would be able to aid Silva, who has been bitten by a werewolf? Quotation marks?
Asterisks.
We don't know the exact nature, but pretty werewolf enough that her having been bitten by it is cause for concern. So the group has been sort of traveling through this cavern. They were told that inside would be a mirror that they could use to transport themselves back to the tower. Mm-hmm. It is the only means of returning back to the mainland outside of just taking a boat, which would have led them to basically the southern edge of Corvair. Because for a little while now, they've been on an island off the coast of the continent that is sort of sheltered away from the rest of the world. So inside the cavern, the group came across, as Franny correctly said, a bunch of shadowy bullshit. And they have been attempting to fight it off as best as they could. There was a natural one roll in the previous session that resulted in a switcheroo where Set and Johannes, who were trapped in the walls and had been sort of circling around, thwarting some of the shadows among the walls themselves and trying to offer aid to their companions who are inside of the actual the room, fighting this enormous shadowy serpent-like figure with a large humanoid skull for a head. They got switched. So now Set and Johannes are in this room surrounded by pools of shadowy form, and Dak and Silva are now trapped within the wall with the serpent who has come along and is rapidly gaining on them. And so we return back to where we left off. If you all recall, the way we had set this up is that we had an initiative going, and then the residents of the walls, as it were, they would roll a d20, and that would dictate how many spaces they were able to move going around the cavern there.
Yes.
So, do we remember who the last person was that went?
No, that's one.
No.
That's one bridge too far.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, can I guess?
Yes.
Starring Anthony Hopkins.
My guess is I don't remember Set or I doing things in the real world, so my guess is that it was Silva who did something that made us switch places.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember doing anything in the walls themselves, so it might have been like right as that happened, and then we were like, all right, session.
Yeah, we had left off with us switching,
Swapping.
and nothing had happened from that point. I just don't remember
the
who.
last event
initiated
of the previous
that.
session
It was Dak or
that
Silva.
natural one.
Right. We are
All right.
to blame.
So then we are going to kick it off with Dak.
That's me.
Yes. So Dak, you
Yes.
and Silva have been transported into the wall. You feel this sense that Johannes and Set went through, this weird feeling of being in a 3D space, but also being trapped inside of like a flattened plane. Really disorienting feeling to go through. It's kind of hard. You kind of have a sense of like being able to move in one direction or the other, but not like directly ahead of you or behind you. And just out of the corner of your eye, you can see over on this side this enormous writhing black and gray shape that is approaching you. That doesn't look good in the slightest.
Cool. What can Dak do in the wall? Because I was not paying attention to the mechanics that Johannes and Set were here to.
Roll a d20 and you get to move.
Sweet. Then I shall do that. I was scared for a second. I thought that was a natural 1, but that was a 7.
So you are able to move 7 spaces either in front of you or behind you.
Oh, can they move counterclockwise?
No,
I thought we were only
you
able to
are
move
right.
clockwise.
It is only clockwise.
Oh. Wait, I was going the right way.
So on this layer right here, the light gray, it was clockwise. And then your enemies at one point, though its circumstances have changed now, but at one point they were able to move counterclockwise here.
Gotcha. Okay. So I moved 7.
All right.
I guess that's it, unless there's something else I can do while in here.
Is there anything else you'd like to try to do?
I would like to try to connect with... can I see out into this space right here?
You can. It's weird. It's like the edges of your vision are a little blurred. Like somebody poured water over your eyes and you sort of wiped them away. But you can kind of see out into the room. You can see Set and Johannes in the middle of the room. These enormous these enormous stalagmites sort of poking out. Just huge crystals that are jagged and stretching out all across the room. And then these shadows that are intermingling in between them that have them currently surrounded.
Okay. I'm gonna try to cast Demon Glance at one of those shadows. See if I can. Demon Glance is a reflavored Mind Sliver.
Let me check and make sure that you are able to cast that right now.
Is that going through the what can I do phase of this new scenario? You get the empirical data, as Celeste told me, since she is technically a scientist.
It's actually a really good thought because I did not ever once consider trying to cast a spell while I was moving around in the wall.
I don't think so. I think y'all kind of like just took my silly rules to heart, which I appreciate.
Well,
Well, now I'm here, and I'm willing to break these rules.
I was gonna say also because Johannes, I was gonna say I don't know. You have spells,
I have
No.
spells.
I do not have spells.
Johannes. So it would have only been you set to question.
Listen, Johannes may not
Yeah.
have spells, but Johannes does have magic. Okay.
No, but
And
I mean,
heart.
I'm just saying,
We
like,
will
out of
uncover
people
that
that
over time.
that could try, it would be set. Just,
Mhm. Johannes has the magic of friendship.
So
And cooking, the things he does in the kitchen are
I
just
do,
astounding.
yeah.
okay.
Though it
so I
has
did-
been a while since we've been able to do that. But
I know, right?
Dak, you are able to cast Demon Glance, if you would like to do so.
Awesome. I guess I'll do it the nearest one here. Just gotta make sure one thing real quick. Yes, they're within range. They need to make a
Intelligence save, correct?
intelligence save, DC 15. By the way, for
15.
everybody who wants to know, my third screen has been moved to the side. I have 3 screens again, but now I have a side panel.
Very nice. Oh, what the fuck?
what?
Oh, that's why that was so weird. I had my computer audio coming through my computer instead of my headphones, but Discord is through my headphones naturally, so I heard that outside of the headphones, and I was like,
That's good.
what?
So the shadow in question rolled a natural 20.
Oof.
Well, that was a save and suck spell, so I did nothing.
Woo.
Bonus action, I'm making a connection to Johannes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I make the mental connection. I say, Johannes, can you hear me?
I think
Johannes, you
that
hear the voice of Dak slowly emerge into your head.
I'm very winded because I've been fighting for my damn life for like 5 hours now.
Yeah, it's me all
you're
messed
the
up.
only one.
And a reminder that y'all should have it marked on your sheets from last session, hopefully. But you do have crew fire engaged, so you remember that you do have the benefits from that you're.
Which
Have
one
what?
again?
So you have an additional D4 that you can add to any of your attacks or saving throws, and then you had it was an additional 5 hit points. 5
Oh
temporary hit
yes,
points added.
I did write that down because I'm at like 1 HP.
Yeah.
Same here. I think I'm just low.
Yeah. Yes, Dak, I hear you. Where are you? Are you where we were?
If you mean you were inside this strange liminal space, that is the world, then yes.
Yes, that is what that's where we were. Be careful, the shadows in there. They hurt.
We only have to contend with one serpent. I believe your shadows have followed you.
Johannes, you can see on the wall the enormous shadow serpent that you were fighting like seconds ago is now sort of spread out like an enormous cave painting. Just this giant snake-like form that is now squirming its way across the cavern wall.
What's that one Legend of Zelda game where you go from
Link
3D to
between
2D?
worlds.
There we go.
Yeah, Link Between Worlds.
We just linked between worlds.
We'll do what we can out here. Stay strong.
I'll do my best to support you. I can still cast magic from in here. Stay alive. That's the end of my turn.
Alright. So that's gonna put us back at the top of the initiative with what was he? Dynamic. Hang on. Let's fix this. Just a moment. I just gotta roll d20 for a pal. Okay. Oh, that's great. Well, that'll help you guys out. Okay.
Will it though?
The initiative order of the Shadow Serpent has changed. Okay. So, top of the round, Johannes. It is, in fact, your turn.
All right. Okay. I see the shadows all around me, right?
Shadows all around you.
All right.
Lower left ahead.
The ones right next to me, I was like, oh, I can't sneak attack. I don't think so. Nah, that's okay. Okay, sorry, I want to read one of my abilities. Don't. Oh, okay, I'm gonna actually use Rakish Audacity to sneak attack this guy, because I actually don't need advantage on the attack roll. If I am within 5 feet. Oh, never mind. I need also no other creatures. I was like, wait, I can't do this. Okay, I'm just gonna attack with my dagger on the shadow that's standing right next to me.
Go for it.
All right. That is a 26.
26 will hit.
Okay. And that will be 8 damage.
All right.
Swing out my dagger with my dominant right hand.
Excellent. You swing the dagger forward and cut into it, hacking into the shadow. The blade meets not smoke, but tar. The consistency of this shadow becomes it's now solid. And you slice into it and bringing the dagger away. Your dagger is coated in this like tar, mud-like substance.
Oh, great.
That kind of covers it completely.
By the way, Johannes, you would get sneak attack on this.
I would?
Yeah. Looking at the definition, because you don't have any other creature within 5 feet of you.
Oh, I didn't know if you counted. Okay.
I don't believe I would. It should just be enemies.
It should, but it's one of those weird things where because they decided to say creature, and some DMs they rule that like the player characters count as creatures. Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time debating over it. I will my house rule will just be that you can, for this encounter, you can sneak attack. I don't worry about considering the player characters. We are not going to consider them creatures in the same way that we would consider the enemies that you are fighting creatures.
Okay.
Exactly. We're friends.
Okay. Well then, I guess if I can add a sneak attack, that's an extra 3d6.
I'll let you add that sneak attack bonus on there.
So that's an extra 11 damage.
All right. Yeah, so you just hack into this shadow. You can't even see your blade anymore because it is just absolutely covered and dripping in this black slime. This ooze that is coming off of it.
Okay. I'm gonna glance back at the wall before ending my turn. Does anything happen to the shadow snake after I hit that?
You see a wall, and the shadow snake on the wall doesn't appear to be like specifically affected by the slashing of that.
Okay.
But it is still moving. Like it's been consistently moving the entire time.
Okay. I just wanted to see if it had any reaction. Okay. I will end my turn.
Right. Next up is that changed. Initiative changed. So it's actually going to be set.
Cool. I am going to I'll just take one step over and I will attack this shadow with my rapier. That is a 14 to hit.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll that attack damage.
It is 10 points of damage.
Excellent. So that's 10 off of you. Set, you strike into this thing with your rapier, and you see how it like shifts and curves inward. It's like stabbing into a bowl of jello. As it kind of shakes and reforms itself around the rapier. You pull your blade away, and you too see now that your blade is covered in this like black ichor substance that is dripping off of it.
Gotcha. And that will be the end of my turn.
All right. That brings us to Silva.
Right as I was about to go for a drink. Okay.
You fool.
No drink for you.
There's the right sheet here.
No one
Forgot
drinks
to
in
check.
Wisconsin.
Where am I at? Beat them all. Cooked on them spells. Okay.
You and me both.
Right.
We're so tenderly spent.
So many of them on healing spells, so take that for what you will. Oh, I do need to double check. Do I have... I do have... I do have a tail currently out. Good to know. Or in my pocket, I should say. For now, though... So, guess I wouldn't know this answer. Because it was gonna be kind of like, well, I guess from like a function. Like, if I were to conceivably look forward right now,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to like see Dak, or does he like? Because he like inherently like rounded this corner on the map there, does that mean like he's also rounded into a part of the cave where I can no longer see him on this two-dimensional plane?
Yeah, so it's really weird. Like looking to your left side, you can see this very narrow strip of reality where Dak just rushed down. But the corner and beyond, you can't see from the perspective of inside the wall. But because you're able to see out into the room, that means you're able to see over to that corner by looking through the room and out and over to that other side.
Got it. And when Dak did their spell, was it at the I don't remember, was it at the thing?
Yes.
It was at one of the shadows, but it also failed.
But it was like at the ones in the room?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I really don't have like a visual aspect currently on this worm.
Not unless you turn your head to look the other way.
Yeah. So we're gonna. That's what I am gonna do first. First thing I'll do then, I'll do the d20 roll. That movement. The 16. That mean I move 16 spaces now, or
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16.
I think that's the highest roll that we've gotten since upgrading to
Y'all
the
were
D20 for
getting some
movement.
low rolls last session. It
So am
was
I able to
rough.
see the worm shadow in any way then? From this
Yes.
angle?
You can see it again if you like if you look at me right now, right?
Mhm.
Let's say I'm tracked in behind this wall. Looking forward now, I can see into the room, and if I tilt the head at a bit of an angle, I can see like, okay, over there's that wall. I can see the worms squiggling around on that wall.
Yes. All you gotta do is just okay, so I'll attempt. I mean, it worked on the other shadow heart, so I'll try it on the worm's shadow on the wall, I guess.
Shadowheart.
No, I'm gonna do the fire. I'm just gonna
Claire?
essentially aim a firebolt at the worm. That's probably gonna miss. That's a 9.
Firebolt.
Fire.
Baldur's Gate reference.
Fireball.
Oh, but I think that's gonna miss with a 9.
It will, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So we'll attempt that experiment later. But that'll be
Right.
the remainder of my turn.
Well,
Okay.
it could still not miss. Dylan, if you look in your PayPal right now,
Well, remind me. I know I'm just spacing on it. What were the bonuses to the crew fire again?
a D4.
Okay. It is a D4 that you can add to any of your attack rolls or saving throw.
And not just like one, like every one of them.
It's 1d4, and after the end of this encounter, it goes away. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Okay.
But it's only the one.
It's 1d4 to use one
Yes,
time.
I'm just gonna let. Alright.
So not blessed, but one time, like
Yeah,
very
it's not,
small
doesn't
bard-
function
bardic
like bless. It
inspiration.
is one time.
Gotcha.
All right. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
Guess not.
Next
No,
up, it is
I think
going
you said
to
that was
be-
the end.
Okay.
It is going to be the worm's turn. The worm begins to shift along the wall. Franny,
Yo.
you Dak hears coming around the corner. It's like the sound of like an enormous, massive thing shuffling and moving with impossible speed as this enormous shadow serpent whips around this corner and in moments is upon you. You are able to like crane your head just in time to see the full massive jaw of this of the serpent unhinge and open up as it comes down upon you and attempts to swallow you whole.
Neat.
Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Great.
Will Dak die for a third time?
You feel yourself surrounded in shadow and darkness and cold, an impossible feeling of cold. As you take 12 points of damage.
What type of damage?
This is necrotic damage.
Okay. Dak is unconscious.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to see if it was cold damage. If it was cold damage, that's double damage, baby. I've been bored.
You have. You are swallowed up by the darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Dak's gonna come out of this in a whole goth face. I hope you guys are ready for
He wasn't already?
it. No.
Oh, right. Goth, emo, those are two different things.
Very
They
different.
They
things.
are different things. Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So Dak,
Uh-huh.
the good news is that it's your turn now,
Oh.
which means
Yeah.
you get to roll a death saving throw.
The bad news is you need to roll a death saving throw.
Well, that's 2 failures.
No.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yep.
And I'm gonna
Dak.
need you to roll a D100 for me, my guy.
Oh, Dak.
Dak, no.
That's even 70.
70. Okay, let's take a look here.
70. I take 1 point of damage somehow. Die.
Oh, by the way, y'all, I know we were all on holiday, and we were all relaxed and having a nice vacation, but some of us are workaholics, and we like to continue to work even during the holidays. New year, new charts. So,
Terrifying.
Lovely.
for 2024, you rolled a 70.
Yes.
I love it.
We all got to start somewhere.
You, Francisco the player, I need you to do me a solid.
Send you $20 in PayPal.
I need you to tell me honestly, genuinely.
Yes.
If you were to pass away in real life, if you were
Uh-huh.
to shuffle off of this mortal coil, and you had the opportunity to be reincarnated as an animal, what animal would you choose?
I'm so glad you asked.
Okay.
A Tasmanian tiger.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, what this means is that you have 2 failed death saving throws right now because
Yes.
you rolled a natural 1.
Oh, cool.
And also, your character is now deathly afraid of Tasmanian tigers.
It's so funny because they're extinct.
It's so funny
in the
because
real world, sure, but
they don't have to be.
That's all right. I'll mark that down.
I like the
Deathly
concept
afraid.
though that
So yeah,
you're
if you can
afraid
please make
of
a note
Tasmanian
in your
tigers.
If you can please make a note on your character sheet that you are deathly afraid of Tasmanian tigers. If you encounter a Tasmanian tiger in the wild, you will fall under the same effects as a fear condition.
Gotcha.
You know,
So I'll be frightened.
I like the concept though that he will see a Tasmanian tiger and be under the aspect of the fear condition, but will inevitably somehow run into a great Quabaran tiger and he won't.
Well, yeah, because Quabaran tigers are cool.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
afraid of real tigers.
they're
I'm afraid of
definitely
moths, though.
They're definitely not. They're definitely not 10 times the size and can fly and spit acid.
Yeah.
Also, the
You
fact
said
that
cool
Dak,
twice, I'm confused.
the fact that Dak will instinctively know that that is a Tasmanian tiger, having not ever seen one in his entire life.
We're gonna run
It's
into one.
instinct.
We're gonna
It's
run
pure
into one just-
instinct.
No.
The hairs on the back of their head just stand up. They're just like, I know what that is, and I hate it.
That's how fears work. You don't get to pick them. You just see
primal.
something and you're like, I hate that with my whole soul. Cool. Dak is not afraid of Tasmanian tigers.
Good to
Writing
know.
condition upon seeing one. Cool. Awesome. It won't matter if he's dead.
New year, new charts. Okay.
New year, new character.
Anything else you want to do in your turn?
There's nothing else I can do, but thank you. That's the end of my turn.
All right. That is going to put us back to the top of the initiative with Johannes.
That's me.
Oh, that's me.
What you got?
I guess I'm gonna attack this shadow again.
What are you doing to attack it?
Good question.
Also, I hate to be that guy, but the shadows never went. I don't know if you want to have them placed anywhere or if that was intentional.
Johannes, what would you like to? How would you like to attack the shadows?
You know, I am going to. Can I use? Is my dagger that's covered in this tar like usable?
It seems so. You're still holding it in your hand. It does feel heavier than it did before.
Huh. Okay.
It feels like you're holding like a 10-pound dumbbell in your hand now.
Gross. Okay. You know, I don't have a ton that I can do, so I'm gonna swing at it again. I'm gonna
Great.
sneak attack it again
All right, make an attack roll with disadvantage.
with disadvantage.
You don't get sneak attack if you have disadvantage.
Yeah, true. That's still a 22.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 15 and a 16.
Yeah, I wanted to win. Okay, no, that's great.
Whoa.
That's awesome. All right, then roll for damage, man.
All right.
'Cause, yeah, that'll absolutely.
5.
5. That will, yeah, because we had 11 and 8. Yeah, dude, you manage, even with like the extra strength, you're just like, you're so done with this. You find the strength to just like bring the dagger forward, just like, and slash into it. And you hit something that is like thicker than the rest of the viscous, oily material you were going to do before. And you rip the blade away, and as you do, you cut away a portion of this shadowy blob, and you see that there are like brightly colored organs inside that you've managed to cut into, and the shadowy thing, it writhes in place frantically, and then it sort of melts and seeps down into the ground where it becomes still and doesn't move.
Oh, nice. Okay.
She dead.
Does the snake on the wall react at all?
The snake thrashes and changes shape. It briefly turns into like a giant bird, and then it shifts again and it becomes like a mass of tentacles writhing around. It shifts another time, and now it is a mountain with a large peak. And it shifts again and it becomes a serpent once more, but it's moving all around. It's becoming madness. Madness, I say.
Okay. I like make sure that like my mental is like linked with Dak if that connection's still open, and then I also say out loud, "There's a core in these shadows. It seems to have some sort of effect on the snake." And then I'm going to move over here next to you, Set, and I am going to make an attack with my offhand dagger, and try to swing into the core of this shadow beast.
This is a secondary dagger, correct? This is a different.
Yeah, it's an untarred
Which means-
dagger.
Yep. So you do not roll with disadvantage. This is a regular attack roll.
Okay.
You actually get. Oh no, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just said we're not in the correct positions for
Oh.
flanking.
11.
11 will miss.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
Alright.
All right. That's at the end of my turn.
Indeed, it is. But it's only the beginning of Set's turn.
Oh.
What?
So my rapier is also then weighed down with the tar, right?
Yeah, you feel it's like a considerable weight. Like all this like ichor, this goop is like weighing down the blade and making it difficult to like hold it up.
Gotcha. I will then with my other hand just kind of hold it like right up to the shadow and cast Eldritch Blast with both of the bolts going directly into it.
Nice.
That would be a 15 for the first one,
Which will hit,
and a 16 for the second one.
which will also hit.
Those are... That will be a total of... That is 16 points of force damage.
You take the hand and bring it up. No hesitation, no mercy. And just eradicate this shadow. It explodes, bursting off, bits and pieces of it coating the large crystals that jut out around you. Where there once was the shadow, there is now a black smear across the ground.
Nice.
Cool. So then, relative to the positions of these other two shadows, like, is there any like topography that I could hide behind, or
The way that the two there's like these two large crystals that are sort of crossing over each other right here.
Mhm.
So both of these are angled upward, coming off of the ground. So you can maybe hide behind them if you came over onto like this side.
Yeah.
Like you could kind of duck in underneath them and come over onto this side to hide behind them. But otherwise you're currently in full view of the shadows.
Then what I will do is I will use my movement to move like back here,
Sure.
and then bonus action hide.
Okay. Sounds good. It is the serpent's turn again.
Great.
Wait. What?
Hmm?
You said it's the serpent's turn?
It is the serpent's turn.
Didn't Dak go before the serpent last time?
No, I went after.
Nope.
I went before
Dak
the
went
serpent
after.
last time.
Oh, you did.
Yes, you have a 9. I
Yeah.
misread that. Silva, it is your turn.
I was like, someone did.
I did.
Yeah, it is Silva, then Serpent, then Deck.
Yes, I unfortunately can't do anything for Dak.
That's fair.
All the spells that I had used to help Dak are now gone. So
You can only help Dex so much.
we'll do the movement first just to benefit that. Oh, that's a 7. That's amazing. All right, but for the available shadows in the room,
Shadows in the room.
would this technically still be the closest shadow in the room to me?
Technically, yes.
Okay, sure. Shoot a firebolt
Shadows
at
in
that
the
one.
room.
Does that seem to do something? It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. That will definitely hit.
All right.
Roll that damage.
15 fire damage.
Woo! A firebolt comes out of seemingly nowhere, impossible space, but it rockets across the room and slams into this shadow. And the shadow writhes in place and moves around as fire engulfs it. It is very badly injured, but it is not entirely dead.
Okay. Okay. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Into my turn.
It is now the serpent's turn.
Yay, we love the serpent.
The
Serpent's so
serpent.
great.
I love the serpent.
I love the serpent so
All homies
much.
love the serpent.
Oh my god, the insides of the serpent are preem. Fucking so warm, so nice.
And
Mm.
I thought they smelled bad.
It's not.
Can't wait. I can't wait to be shit out by this serpent.
The serpent,
Mm.
having fully swallowed Dak into its essence, will move. 1, 2.
You can stop now. You can stop now.
Silva's saying that as it's getting closer.
This is getting closer.
So, the serpent stops just before you, Silva, within mere feet of you. This enormous shadowy figure that is bearing down upon you. You see the horrible humanoid-like skull, mouth distended and wide open, horrible jagged black teeth that appear impossibly sharp as the mouth agape seems to be preparing to strike down upon you and swallow you as well.
No vor. Please.
You hear a voice that calls out to you, soft. It is a voice you recognize that says, Silva, help me. Silva, help me. Help me. And you can see, peering into this endless shadowy maw, what looks like a humanoid figure that's kind of like slowly waving back and forth, that has an appearance kind of similar to Dak. And it's just kind of like dangling inside of the maw of the creature, just sort of waving back and forth. And you can hear this pitiful little voice coming from it going,
Hey.
Silva, help me. Silva,
It's
help me.
and that's the thing.
Silva.
It's also like your impression of Dak. It's also what makes it inherently very funny.
Silva, Silva, help me. Make an intelligence saving throw for me, please.
Sorry, I'm
Strike
trying to
that,
fix my
reverse
face.
it. No, that's fine. I'll let you choose on this. You can either do an intelligence save or you can do a wisdom save. It's up to you.
It's an 18 on the intelligence save.
Ooh, okay then. You look at this at Dak moving around inside of the mouth of the creature, listening to their voice, and you think to yourself, that's bait. That's not really Dak. It's trying to lure you in. And you're too smart to fall for it.
Don't listen.
Bait. All right.
Dak.
That's me.
I need you to roll a death saving throw for me.
I'm all right.
Please, Dak. Please.
Here we go.
And you're going to do this without initiative.
Without what?
What?
You said without an issue?
I was just messing with you.
Oh. All right, here we go. To 4.
Dak's dead.
Okay.
Dak's fucking dead again.
God. No.
Wait, has Dak Dak did die. He was resuscitated by the lightning, right?
Yes, and then my clone died right in front of me, which is still technically me. It would have been me had I rolled differently.
But
now
similarly
True.
traumatizing.
similarly traumatizing.
I told my D&D friends about that at work, and they were like, "That sounds awesome."
Yeah, it was a good time. Not for that clone, but a great time for Dak. But this is like Dak's first, like true, like down to 0 death rolls.
Fuck.
What do I see?
All right. So, there is no trace that anyone can see of Dak along the walls in the room anywhere. Dak appears to be gone. Franny, is there anything else you'd like to do in your turn?
Great question. I think as Dak loses himself to the darkness, he feels the burning in his left eye, and that's probably the last thing he can conceptualize before nothingness. We'll leave it at that for now.
Sure.
That's the end of my turn. And the end of my round.
And the end of your life.
And the end of this sentence.
The end of my patience. All right. We go to the top of the round. Johannes, it is your turn once again.
Do I sense a mental link with Dak?
Oh yeah, no.
Go ahead and make an insight check, with a lack of advantage.
Just a raw insight check.
Yes.
15.
Just a dirty raw insight.
No. You feel nothing.
Oh.
My pulse quickens as I walk over to this next shadow. And I'm gonna try to attack it with my daggers that are slowly getting heavier and heavier.
All right. And make an attack with disadvantage.
I got +5 to an attack roll, right?
No, you have a 1d4 if you want to
get
use
a
it.
D4 that you
A
can
D4.
use
Okay,
on
I
a
want to
single attack roll
use it
either. Okay, you
on my lower one.
Okay.
15 then. Okay.
15 hits. Go ahead. And roll
Okay.
damage.
I can't get sneak attack on this, I don't think.
Well,
hold on.
No, you have disadvantage on your attack.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yep, can't get it anyway.
5. No, right when I needed to hit big. All right.
All right then. That down. Okay. You slice at this shadow. You feel like you're able to cut into it, but not as deep as you had gotten into the others. And the blade in your hand feels dull. the actual blade itself being completely covered in this ichor, it can't cut in the same way as it was before.
Okay. In a last act of desperation with my other dagger that's not as like covered, I'm gonna just like jam in there. So offhand attack with disadvantage still, I'm assuming, because this one's gross now too.
Yep.
Okay. No, 9. I don't think that hits.
9 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I am my turn. I look to the wall again. Looking for Dak.
Nathaniel's words behind you guys saying, "You've disappointed me."
What a waste of a good mace. All right. Set. It is your turn.
I am going to step out of hiding and go ahead and shoot an arrow at the shadow that Johannes was engaged with.
Okay.
So with the hide, was that successful? And so would I get advantage on this? Well, my higher roll was an 18 without modifiers, so
Which will absolutely hit.
like I think that hits. Yeah, that's a 26 total. So 1d6 plus 5. So that's 9 points of damage of just the arrow. Sneak attack is an additional 7, so that's 16 total points of damage.
You fire this arrow, and it flies through the air. With a squelch, it sinks into the shadow, and though you can't see it, it strikes something within, because the shadowy mold just shifts and shakes around and then collapses and breaks apart into the ground, and is no longer moving.
As the arrow penetrates through it, Set will then also kind of wave their hand, and as it like melts down to the ground, a blast of green energy will come off and strike the other one for 2 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah, you wave your hand and the energy glances off a bit, slams into this other shadow. It continues to move in place. But where the green energy strikes, it's like a portion of it hardens and crystallizes until it becomes like an emerald splash
Memento.
coming off the side.
From JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Emeraldo splash.
Okay. With that, I will. You said that these crystals are jetting up into the air, so the space underneath them is clear, right?
Correct. Yep.
I will step up to here, and that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Next up, Silva. This enormous shadow serpent bearing down upon you, but as Set drives an arrow into another one of the shadows and causes it to die away, you notice that the serpent, ready to clench down upon you, reels back. It keels backward, the mouth hanging wildly open, the Dak facsimile flailing around inside the mouth, still just endlessly repeating, Silva, help me. Silva. Silva. Help me. So it just, as the serpent reels back in apparent pain, you have an open opportunity. It is your turn. What do you want to do?
Hmm.
Though it might be muted.
What are we thinking?
All right. Man. uh, I'm just gonna start before I even attempt the move. Just gonna try to launch a firebolt at I guess what would be the one I fired at earlier and the remaining shadow in the middle of the room.
Fair. Go for it.
14.
14 hits.
So
Roll for damage.
Hey.
all right, we got that big damage. We got 13.
13.
Yes.
Silva. You fire this fireball out into the world, and it shoots off. For a moment, it looks like your aim is a little too high, and it's going to miss the shadow entirely. Until it smashes into one of the crystals overhead and hits it just right, that it ricochets off, and a mote of fire rains down upon this shadow and engulfs it entirely.
Let's go.
Set and Johannes, you see as fire engulfs the shadow until it becomes nothing more than flame, and then ash, and then ember, as it burns away into nothingness.
Man,
Dang.
what happens?
First by daybreak.
Silva, the serpent that was bearing down on you a moment ago, suddenly begins to scream and moan. Heavy wisps of white and black smoke form off of it as it begins to contort in on itself and shrink down and become smaller and smaller. And then, after what feels like moments, it shrinks and shrinks until it becomes nothing more than a pool of shadowy dust and a single humanoid skull, obsidian black, looking up at you, motionless. What would you like to do?
there's not a. Well, am I still on the wall?
Still on the wall.
Hmm. Still in initiative?
Still in initiative.
Hmm.
It is your turn. You've used a bonus action, but you still have an action in your movement.
No, I used an action. Cast the spell?
Oh, that's true. Yes, you used the it was a cantrip. Thinking of, not necessarily.
That'd be pretty boolin to be a bonus action. Uh, really hoped somehow getting rid of this would have solved the.
Yeah, but
How far we go then, shall we? Okay, we can move 13 spaces. Alright. I'm dumb.
You're not dumb. You just have your moments.
Okay. Alright.
Let me say this before you move too far. You've used your action,
Uh-huh.
so you have a bonus action and you have a movement.
Uh-huh.
Technically, an enemy moved into your vicinity before.
Uh-huh.
So technically, if you'd like, it's your choice how you want to handle the turn here.
Uh-huh.
You do have grounds to do an attack of opportunity. Otherwise, you can move as you're moving right now, or use a bonus action.
Wait, because they entered my vicinity?
Yes.
I mean, so like inevitably
Because what's usually attack of opportunity, right? That's an enemy leaves, like they it's from being directly in line with you to then moving past 5 feet away from you. You know, triggers an attack of opportunity. This creature, this enormous thing, has shrunk down so much that it has moved outside of the space that it was originally sharing, to the point where technically, if you were to say that it was now exceeding 5 feet away from you,
okay.
I would accept that.
Okay. Guess I'll take a stab at it then. Does a 14 hit?
14 does hit.
All right, cool. That's gonna be 10 damage.
All right, Silva.
Yeah.
How do you finish the fight?
Oh.
I mean, I feel like I would feel like when I would give it the stab and it would start to crinkle away, I would do what any good. I mean, I don't know if what conceptualized thing I have in this 2D environment I have.
Mm-hmm.
But while stabbing it, I feel like in order to truly finish it in the prime goth fairy girl way that I have and am, that I would step on it.
excellent. You stab into this skull and are surprised by how easily your blade sinks into it. There's no resistance, and pulling away, no one would no one would blame you if you thought what's done is done and walked away. But you know better. And so you bring up your foot and you bring it down with an intensity that shatters the skull into hundreds of tiny shards. When you do so, a shockwave of dark energy erupts from your position and flows out throughout the entire room. Everything becomes pitch black and dark. Impossible for anyone to see, even with magical vision. That feeling of immense, impossible cold overwhelms all of you until it slowly gives way to warmth again. And the darkness gives away to light. And as the dim light of the cavern returns, Silva, your foot still resting comfortably on the shattered remains of the serpent's skull, you find yourself back in the cavern room with Set and Johannes. As all the shadows around you have disappeared. And it is silent once more.
Look around real quick. No Dak?
Where's Dak?
Silva, do you know what happened to Dak?
I didn't really see, did I?
I mean, you just saw me in the thing's mouth saying, "Help me, help me."
Yeah, but I realized that one wasn't real. So, I mean, that was why the question about what did I see of when it was behind
You
me in
that
line.
it was a very high intelligence roll you made. I think I'm happy letting that be your decision, whether or not you.
Well, because we
What-
were going
what
over
you
the
saw.
gauge that, like, you know, unless it's kind of next to you, like we were talking about how, like, when we were in line with it, we're not seeing it the same
Right,
way.
but with sure, but again, with the intelligence check that you made, I am willing to let you choose whether or not Silva is able to infer what had happened. It is your decision to make.
Well, so because really all I can gauge from that because mainly I can only mainly know that it was at least mocking or mimicking it, I could really say, but
Just making fun of me.
um I don't know. I don't know if that creature. So you have the creature on the map here. Is it like physically here in any capacity?
All that remains of it is the shattered remains of the skull underneath of your boot, and just like traces of ash, like a small pile of ash in and around it.
I don't know. It was it was mimicking him. I don't suppose it might have. It would have somehow swallowed him, but I mean, he would shrink with it?
I don't know. I don't have a... He made a mental connection with me before, but I don't have anything now.
Well, he was struggling to keep into consciousness. I tried to help him as best he could while you guys were the ones in the wall. Couldn't, but I couldn't keep it up.
Upon hearing this, Set is going to immediately sit down cross-legged and start channeling their medium ability.
Go ahead and roll a medium check.
Oh, it's a little short.
That is a 22.
22. I'm gonna have to roll. Whoop. Scoop. Okay. Set. You attempt to. What are you searching for specifically? What type of connection are you trying to make?
I'm trying to basically look for Dak, because all of what they've been saying has basically led Set to the conclusion that Dak probably died, and they want confirmation on that. Especially because it happened in the walls, and there's no body to be seen or anything, so...
You sense the presence of dozens and dozens of souls directly above your head. And looking up, you can see what you had seen before, all of the humanoid shadows that were laying up over top of you, sort of completely encasing the roof, the ceiling. But you notice that these shadows are slowly vanishing one by one, and the souls are leaving with them. And as they leave, you're trying to pinpoint a specific one. You're trying to identify one that matches the one of your friend, but you do not find it. As the last of these humanoid shadows fades and disappears from sight, and their souls follow them.
So I can't see any remnants of Dak anywhere. Well, it looks like the rest of the souls that were trapped here are free, but I can't pick up anything of Dak.
What the hell? What does this mean? Is he gonna be okay?
I think he's gone, Johannes.
No. I just sit on the ground.
I think the snake absorbed him and basically integrated his soul with it, and so upon defeating the snake, fortunately there's nothing left.
I drop my daggers to the ground.
Let's take a quick look around, see if there's anything that we missed, but otherwise I think we have to keep moving on. Silva, how are you doing? Like, how are you feeling? You're still dealing with all that nonsense too.
Things come up.
All right.
This wizard's gonna pay. And I like stand up. Can I like wipe off the gunk on my tar
You can.
or my daggers?
It takes some doing. It's really like thick and sticky. Really hangs on there, but you can like takes a little bit of time, but you can like pull away all of this goo that's accumulated on your blades.
Okay, I do that, and I sheath my daggers and then start walking.
Johannes, Silva, before we move on, how are you guys doing injury-wise?
Bad.
Fine. Spent everywhere else. Might put the... I don't know, I guess, can I potentially, like, get any of the ashes in this skull into some type of flask for my alchemist kit?
Yeah, if you have something on you, or you can ask your traveling companions if they have something. It is tangible, you know. It
Yeah.
Johannes, here, take this. And I will hand Johannes one of the superior healing potions that I have.
Ooh.
Actually, is that a little overkill? Like, what are you at? Just like above board, like health wise?
Technically, since would the temp hit points go away now, right? Because it's only for the battle.
So the encounter is over. So
yeah.
Anyone who hadn't used their D4, that D4 is gone, and the temporary hit points are also gone.
Oh man, I never got to use my D4.
Then I am at 6
Go ahead
HP.
All right.
6 out of what you're
33.
Yeah, I'll hand him a superior healing potion.
It would have been 4.
That was a 4?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
The superior healing potion is 8d4 plus 8.
8d4 plus 8. Wow. Okay. Hold on. Let me roll that.
That's some good shit. Superior potions of healing are always fun.
That is 24
That's
HP.
Good. Mm-hmm.
I am now just under full health.
Nice.
I'm gonna take the flask and just like I'm gonna like look at where the snake was and just like chuck it at the ground over there.
Not gonna lie, if I contribute to Johannes's angst arc, then I'm perfectly okay with that.
This is where I become serious.
This is where it's serious. My new name, Drist Darkbringer.
I could be your angel or your devil.
Or your devil.
Yo, Johannes, he was under 3/4 HP. He was like, it's time to get serious.
I've been at like sub 5
HP.
HP.
That reference hits right where it needs to.
I've been at like sub 5 HP for like the past 4 sessions.
But you were like, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet. Take this. Okay. I'll let everybody finish up their final checks if you want, but I'm gonna start walking. I need to go speak with a wizard. I have some words.
I need to go tell a wizard he fucked up today.
How the large crystals that are kind of jutting out over the space that I'm at right now, how high off the ground are those?
Good 10-15 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the base of whatever like large crystal is nearby that's like central enough. Can I like scratch into it with a dagger?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a diamond. It does. You are able to make a mark into it with your blade.
I'm going to etch the thieves' cant for honor and companion into the base of the crystal, and then follow along with Johannes.
Oh, set. 3-letter name, Solidarity.
All right. So Silva, you were going to take the remnants of the serpent skull. You said you wanted to pack those up.
Is there a jet in those
Yes.
remnants?
I need you to roll a death saving throw.
Too late,
Too
fucker.
late.
I'm dead. You can't hurt me now.
Oh, you naive fool.
I'm kidding. I'm gonna be nice to you from now on.
Mhm. Okay. So,
We only had Revivify. Or a scroll of
Set.
Revivify. Where's Baldur's Gate rules when you need them?
Yeah, I know.
in Baldur's Gate,
Damn.
which is where
Can't
we are
believe
not. After all this time.
It was the
It's
Baldur's
set.
Gate and us all along.
I think it's
Sometimes the Baldur's
important-
Gate is the friends you made along the way.
Totally. I think it's important that we pay this off. You are able to recognize, because you took the time to carve into the wall previously, to sort of mark your positioning. You recognize that in theory, as long as the cavern isn't going to like keep looping again, you need to head this way to move forward.
Okay. I'll walk up to Johannes and be like, grab him on the shoulder, like kind of pat him and be like, I appreciate the energy, but we actually got to go the other way.
Like put my hands in my pocket and like, yeah, of course. I walk in the other way. The tips of my ears turn red.
I think the etching is at the base of this crystal here.
Okay.
Go ahead and start heading that direction.
You all, the three of you, continue on. You begin to travel what feels like even deeper into the cavern. It begins to slope downward again, though not as severely as before. There is a bit of treacherous pathing here, but the three of you staying close together are able to maneuver through it without much difficulty. And you find, to your relief, that you turn a corner and you see a new path that's not the same as before. And it looks like stairs have been carved out of the stone beneath, creating this stone walkway heading down. And down at the very end of it, after a good like 30 to 40 steps, there is another iron door. A large iron door embedded into the stone.
I'll go ahead and approach it and just check for, traps, check if it's locked, check, the standards.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand. How would you like me to roll that?
Yeah, go and do sleight of hand.
Cocked. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. There are no visible traps, no tripwires, no obscured levers or hidden components to the door. It appears to just be a solid iron door. There's not even like a baseline like magical aura being given off or anything of the sort. It just appears to be a solid slab of iron.
Got it.
And this one, unlike the previous door that you had interacted with, does also appear to have a handle. A huge wrought iron handle that juts out of the right-hand side of the door.
It looks to be good. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Be ready regardless. We don't know what's behind here. And I'll kind of open it and kind of step back and be at the ready.
It's heavy, very heavy, but you pull, and you are able to just open it up. You get it past like the 45-degree angle, and you kind of step back apprehensively, preparing for anything. As you pull the door wide open, and nothing happens.
Is there anything behind it?
You see, just behind the door, there is a fully illuminated room. It is bright inside of the room. And you could just make out what appears to be the back of a couple chairs inside of said room.
Just chairs. Okay. Interesting. Can I go look at the chairs?
Well, you can enter the room.
Well, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. You walk through the doorway, and now the rest of the room is visible. And you see where there were chairs, there is actually also a large table that they were positioned around. There is a enormous plinth coming out of the ground, upon which there is a writing desk situated off on the far side. Up against the wall is this enormous rectangular mirror, just covered in these runic symbols that seem to sort of wrap themselves all up and around it. There are numerous ancient tomes and scrolls and books stacked upon the table, coated in thick layers of dust, as if nothing has been in this room for centuries. Seated at the far end of the table, in one of the chairs, is a skeleton.
A skeleton.
Covered in cobwebs and dust. A single skeleton propped up in the chair, head tilted down slightly. A crown littered with jewels resting upon its skull.
Played enough Skyrim to know where this is going. Is that the only thing of note in this room?
There is the table. There are the books and the tomes upon the table. There is the plinth off in the distance with a writer's desk at the top of it. There is the enormous mirror up upon the wall. To the far right, there is actually what appears to be a chasm. And if you were to look down into the chasm, you would see that it stretches out a good 25, 30 feet, and it appears bottomless.
Cool. Don't go over there. I'll take a look at the writing desk to see if there are any papers out with any kind of inkling as to who the skeleton is.
Okay. So the plinth has this like spiral staircase that wraps around it. So you ascend the staircase to walk up to the top. Is there anything in the rest of you would like to do while Set is ascending the plinth?
Well, crying is a free action, so
You know what? Yeah. Crying sounds good, yeah.
I'm assuming this is just going to be like a few, like this is a thing that would be like a few minutes, or
Yeah, it would only take a few minutes at most for Set to ascend the plinth.
yeah. So
No, I'm gonna just brood, and then like, what? Is there anything else that catches my attention? I don't know if I can make like a roll.
yeah, I'm just
You can make a perception or an investigation.
Yeah, I'll
to
make a
something
perception
specific.
check.
yeah. I was gonna say because pretty much all my only thing with the DAC save hopefully is just that we can get through this soon enough, and somehow this wizard has a scroll of revivify.
Yeah. 15.
Okay.
On perception.
You notice the table. So the table is coated in dust, except in front of one of the empty chairs, there is a spot on the table where there isn't any dust, and it is in a rectangular shape, about 1 foot by 1.5 foot in size, as if
Okay.
something was sitting on the table but was removed.
Like a book. Or a
Something.
sheet of paper. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna go just sit in that chair while we wait.
You take a seat in the chair. Set.
Yes.
You reach the top of the plinth, and you find yourself at this writer's desk. This also completely covered in dust and cobwebs. There's a small wooden chair propped in underneath it. The desk itself has a singular tome sitting atop it, as well as a quill resting inside of a jet black inkwell. The tome has this thick leather cover with no text or any kind of script upon it.
I think I'll carefully go up and kind of dust it off and then go to open it.
Do you open it? Is there like a what portion of the tome do you open it to? Do you just open it to the first page?
Yeah, I'm gonna open the cover to see if there's any signification of what's in here, or if this is, personally penned by someone, which would be suggested by like the inkwell and it being on the writer's desk, but just to get like some more information about what this is.
You move the cover to the side, and written in a green ink is a set of words. It says, property of Arabus, Arabus, Enthel, Enthell. For
Erebus.
vipers alike.
Hmm.
Is what that says.
Does the name ring any bells? I know that the like Tyr and all of them told us about the wizards that were involved with this, and they gave their names. I don't have my notes right next to me, but does it ring a bell? Does it match up with the names of any of the wizards?
Try to make a quick history check.
8.
8. You can remember. You remember the one that you feel like you've heard the name a couple times now. You remember Cressius, because it was the island of Cressia that you were on, currently. You can't recall in the moment the name of the other wizard.
Gotcha.
But you don't know that it was the same as it.
Okay. I'll start to kind of flip through the pages, just give them a skim and see what the content of this is.
Dad.
Yeah.
You felt as if your eyes were shut for an eternity. As if they lost their function as eyes, their purpose, before they were violently ripped open. And you could see again. You look ahead of you and you see your friends all gathered together. They're no longer in the wall, they're just in the room. They appear to be talking. Johannes's mouth is moving, but you can't quite hear or understand what he's saying. Set mentioned something. You see Sova not too far from you. Has her foot resting upon the shattered fragments of what appears to have been like an obsidian black skull. And she removes the boot from it, sort of investigating it. You go to speak and move forward, and your face comes into contact with something hard, like glass, and you're unable to move forward. You watch as your three friends continue to speak with each other. Set takes out a potion of superiority and gives it to Johannes, who drinks from it. Johannes makes kind of like a frustrated motion and just throws it to the side. You watch as it falls, and it's soundless. You don't hear anything. The three friends talk more, and Johannes begins to walk away. And as he's beginning to do so, Sova is going to join as well. You begin to shout to the best of your ability, but no one hears you. Seemingly no one sees you. And then Set begins to move towards you, and you think for a moment, they've seen me. They know I'm here. And Set walks up to you. You see a face that is saddened, aggrieved, but also clearly trying to maintain a level of stoicism as they walk right up to you and they begin to scratch something, a message, into the crystal that separates you from them, literally inches from your face. They begin to scratch a note into the crystal. Backwards, you're having trouble understanding what it is. It's so close to your face, and you call for them again for any kind of response, and you get nothing. They finish writing their message on the crystal, and then they turn and join Johannes and Silva. And the three of them walk out of the room, leaving you there. And as they leave, before long, you find yourself completely alone, in absolute silence. No one is there. After what feels like a lifetime of isolation, but logically couldn't be more than a few moments, you hear something. Sound, noise, finally. Pat. Pat. The sound of something walking along the ground towards you. But it sounds lighter than humanoid feet, or even halfling feet.
Dak is going to turn to look at it.
The sound grows larger. Pat, 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 pat. It's not the sound of two legs, it's more like the sound of four. Not feet. Maybe hooves. Coming into view from behind one of the crystals is a small fawn. It makes eye contact with you. Its eyes milky white. No pupil or iris.
How many eyes does it have?
2.
Okay.
Okay.
The ears perk up as if they hear something in your direction. And this small deer slowly walks up to you. It sort of sniffs at the crystal that you are inside of.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Afraid so.
What is this? Where are we?
Oh. Johannes,
Yeah.
you take a seat at the table. The skeleton sitting at the far end has moved in the seconds that it took you to sit down. You could have sworn that the head was sort of lolling over to the side. But now that you're seated, you look at the skeleton, and it is looking back at you.
I like squint my eyes and lean forward a little bit out of the chair.
Merlin.
So cute.
The skeleton lifts up both hands and places them on the table and leans forward to look at you as well, peering at you with eyeless sockets.
I go up and like wave my hand in front of my face. Does it mirror me?
But it does grab your wrist.
Grabs my wrist. Okay. I try to like break it off.
Make a strength check for me.
Dirty 20. I'm rolling well tonight.
Okay.
Damn.
You panic and you like begin to like trying to pull your arm away from it. And as you do, you rip the entire skeleton's arm away from the rest of it. You kind of pull yourself away and fling your arms back, and you have this skeleton arm still gripping onto your wrist, but now it's like flinging around with you.
Okay. Can I try to like grab the like forearm, the tibia or whatever, I don't know, bones, and
Yeah,
just like
Yeah, you rip it off of you. So now you're just holding the skeleton's arm in your hand.
is it still moving?
It is just staring at you. Other hand still planted firmly on the table.
I just like exclaim, "What the hell?" I like point the arm at it. What is this? Like point the hand like I'm pointing my own finger, but like extended.
Tell you, it's rude to wave your hand in front of my face, but it is also rude to wave my hand in front of my face. And the skeleton stands up, and as it does, hundreds and hundreds of jewels and baubles and trinkets that have that lined the interior of its skeletal ribs and frame drop and hang over from it as the skeleton stands 7 feet tall, towering over you, crown precariously perched on top of its head. You should bow to royalty. And next time,
Oh,
we'll figure out what exactly counts as royalty down here in this cavern. We'll see what Set has to discover within that writer's desk. We shall see if Silva has any good use for the crumbled remains of that obsidian skull. And we shall see if Dak is. Until then, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. And remember,